Great, and welcome. Uh, so today we're going to go through some of the basics of how to get your site ranked within AI. And hopefully everyone can hear me well. And welcome, I'm Daryl Haddon. I'm the president of Graphically Speaking. And I guess to start off with, things are changing, and in our industry, they're changing on a rapid basis, and always have been, and it's fantastic. Keeps you on your toes and makes things very, very interesting. But right now, things are changing at an unprecedented level. Let's call it what it is. AI is taking our industry by storm, and the shift away from Google and into AI is happening extremely rapidly. And it's so funny. I was working on with both tools yesterday, and I'm going, why am I using Google when some of these other tools are so much more geared to the questions I'm asking? If I'm interested in companies, yeah, Google's very effective at that, and a variety of other things. But me and a variety of people are shifting to AI more and more to get our general inquiries answered. And so the productivity gains that we are experiencing within Graphically Speaking are huge. And so we're looking forward to, being able to pass those productivity gains on to our customers, and also to our employees, so they can just do more, better work, quicker, faster, and easier. Um, the and it's nice. I'm seeing a real shift in regards to the hype or the negativity associated with AI, and where people are not no longer, not using it because they're against it. My one of my daughters said she wasn't using it because whenever she asked it a complex question, it consumed, I think, a gallon of water or something along that lines. And I'm just going, really, just to cool all the computers is what it was, one of her calculations. So it was very environmentally unfriendly. She's now saying that, and she's a project manager, web development project manager, and she's now saying that she has to use it to stay competitive. And I think that's very, very true. So I think a real shift is acceptance shift is happening, and it's very, very pleasing to see, because this is going to make so many things so easier and so much better. Um, so what do we do to stay relevant in this changing environment? Well, hopefully we can answer some of these questions as far as how to get your B2B e-commerce discoverable. And we focused on B2B e-commerce because that's one of the areas that Graphically Speaking specializes in. And really, there hasn't been a lot of talk about how to do it in this environment. There has been lots of talk, in the B2C, but yeah, so we thought we'd tackle those. And you will see some parallels between B2B and B2C, as you always do. So next slide, please. So we're going to break it into must-haves, should do, that you should be doing right away, and then things that you need to plan for the future. Because creating some of the areas of creating for AI can be daunting. And so we'll start with the first top five that you should be working on right away, and then the next five that you should be planning for, unless you're advanced and already have the first five in progress. Next slide, please. So first, and you won't find too many people recommending that you start with keyword research to organize your AI. But to me, it's extremely important that you stay focused on what keywords you're trying to drive, and then thus answers that you're trying to give for AI itself. So always start with your seed list, and I like one keyword, one main high-level keyword, and then per page, and then some long tails after that. But really, what people are doing with AI is they're asking questions. So expand your question-based research and what do you think are the chat prompts itself? What would you type in? What questions would you type into AI, and that you need answers to? And think of it in that context. Um, Naturally, natural language buyer questions, and that goes along the lines with a long tail. Second, and very important from a technical standpoint, is you really need to structure, use your schemas correctly. And so that's now, it's so funny. We spent all this time trying to organize the web so that it was very friendly and organized for people. Well, now the shift is, we need to organize our sites for the AI and Google and all the other bots itself that are running around trying to determine and provide answers to people. So now the schema or rich structured data is absolutely essential. Next slide, please. So accessibility is so important now. And ensured WCAG compliance is absolutely essential, and for a variety of other times. And actually, we're giving a seminar, I think, in another week on that and why it's important. So it's a high priority for if you want to rank within AI. I mean, it should be high priority anyways, especially if you're doing any e-commerce, and especially if you're doing e-commerce in the States. We know of one client that has been sued by a New York based law firm, and they ended up just paying, they called it a fine versus trying to fight in court about it itself. But it's hard to do full WCAG compliance, but it's the basics you need to work on. And then obviously you need the fast load times, mobile first, and semantic headings and alt text for images. And it's funny, it's so often that we don't see alt text on images, and it's absolutely essential for to pass WCAG compliance. But again, that's another subject. We're not going to go there. We hear a lot about this, develop authoritative AI friendly content, white papers, case studies, product guides, etc. What they don't want, what AI doesn't want is sales pitches. And so what they're trying to do is gives the audience factual information. And so structure your content in that manner, and it'll work quite well for you. And searchable FAQ pages. FAQs are all the rage because AI users are asking questions. So if you're a fact section, ask those questions, they're going to bring you up and put you front and center in front of the client. Okay. Next slide, please. So now we're going to talk briefly about the 5 other recommended initiatives for being found in AI. And then we're going to go into more detail on the 5 key ones and just give you a little more meat to the material that we're providing here itself, maybe even a little how-tos. So next slide, please. Building on your success. So that's really what it is. So we always like to approach things in a flywheel approach with Jim Collins, and his flywheel, where basically it's really hard to get the flywheel turning in the beginning, but once it's turning, the momentum just builds and builds. And so we look at the first 5 as starting the flywheel, and then these next 5 as really accelerating the flywheel and keeping its momentum itself. So that's the way we like to look at it, graphically speaking. And so this is the next steps. And I put this up here first because it's not that hard to do. And AI tools love it itself if they know that you are considered an expert and are educating. And so this is the industry glossary is really, really powerful. If you're enterprise level, a knowledge hub is always great. And but there are lots of time and lots of energy to be able to create a correct knowledge hub and keep it up to date. But the glossary can be done quite quickly and add quite a bit of credibility. And so it's kind of like a low-hanging fruit. And you won't see direct results from it, but AI is going to boost you knowing that it's there. Because it can take things out of context and apply them to your industry itself. Okay, multi-format content. We saw that trend very much with Google and in the latter years, but it's really important for AI and really important for the user experience too. We know users do not like to read text, long streaming text, and in web development, we're always breaking it up and partitioning it off and labeling it correctly so people can scan, find exactly the information they need as quickly as possible. And tag PDFs. I mean, what we're trying to do is get away from most of the information in PDFs. It doesn't work really well in mobile. And doesn't, in some cases, if it's not done correctly, the AI has trouble reading it. So, but the videos and infographics, and and here's in the B2B environment, there's a lot of spec sheets, and here for paint company, TDSs and SDSs, and the content should be accessible in HTML or through HTML and not only in PDFs. PDFs are great for printing and downloading, etc., but not strong in regards to the ranking within AI. And then the good old backlinks and mentioning, authority or backlink and authority is a very powerful tool for those, and you should continue working on it. We've all been working on those for years for Google ranking, and AI does place some authority on it, not near to the level that the search engines do, but definitely an important component. And we actually were doing some research about, what components of SEO are what we do for our SEO clients that actually work and are successful for AI search. And so there's a lot of overlap, and that's backlinks is one of them. Next slide, please. Uh, This one's a real fun one. Deploy internal semantic search and improve usability and AI crawlability with semantic internal search. Add on-site chatbots trained on your docs and catalog. That's quite a bit of work. We haven't got a lot of buy-in from clients in regards to adding that. A lot because they've had experience with them and didn't like them. And because our target audience typically is mid-sized B2B clients, but the semantic internal search and AI crawlability, and that's we'll talk a little bit about that some more. We won't go into detail because it is a very challenging subject, and we're just in the process of doing one right now just to educate the client in regards to what works from a product data standpoint, and it's extensive. But it's all the right things to do, and typically the right information that's in their tech spec sheets and etc. So, yeah, I can go off on that subject, and you won't shut me up for half an hour, so I'm not going to do that because I really want to finish on time, and that's got 14 minutes left. So monitor AI and go see who's coming up and how they're coming up, and that's one of the best tools to effectively allow you to see what your progress is like. Next slide, please. So now we're going to go a little more into detail on the top five, um, yeah, and hopefully give you some information as far as how to proceed in this and what the tasks and the benefits are. Next slide, please. So keyword research, as I said, I think it's the first and most important thing to do because if you're not structuring for your site for the proper keywords that people are using for intent on your product, you're doing yourself a disservice. And so that's the basis and the start, and then organizing it for AI afterwards. So for AI, it's focused on questions, not just keywords. So real questions, like for this, for a painting company, where which coating system is best for steel and coastal environments? That's a typical question that they get asked in for their industrial paint products. And so if you provide an answer for that, our epoxy such and such is the best, or these are the four best products for this, or these are the method for preparing coatings for coastal environment on steel, and answer those type of questions, AI is going to rank you, and so you get your name front and center. Um, uh, Again, back to mine AI tools directly. So it'd be good to take that question, put it into an AI tool, and see who comes up and what the answers are. And then I'd like to reverse engineer. I've always loved reverse engineering. It just saves so much time and energy. And uh, yeah, and I won't go off on that subject either. But it can save so much time to do it that way. And again, here we are with semantic and entity-based research. So what you need to understand is AI is different. It just doesn't understand keywords. So it understands concepts, entities, relationships. And so if you bundle those all together, you're going to be very, very effectively, you're going to be very effective in AI. Leverage internal data, like going out to your salespeople and going out to your customer service people and saying, okay, what questions are people asking you on a consistent basis? Not the one-offs, but what's regularly asked, and put them into an FAQ, the clear question and a clear answer itself. And it's always nice to put it on the page where that product or that service answers or provides that solution itself. And so, yeah, next slide, please. Always study competitor visibility and then again extract their phrasing and keyword strategies itself. Not 100% duplicate, but yeah, we all know we're trying to avoid duplication, but you can be very close. Uh, So yeah, combine classic SEO with conversational modifiers. Start with traditional keyword tools to find high value base keywords. And that's key is the high value. So you know which ones will convert for you, and then build on the conversational modifiers to that. So it's regular questions are, best for, how to choose uh, for painters for professional painters, who's got the best paint, etc. So um, layer in these conversational modifiers into your content itself, and you'll find that AI takes preference over that. Another thing that I haven't mentioned here, AI loves prices. Okay. And it's so hard to, get customers, not customers, but to get our customers, which are the manufacturers, wholesale, and distributors, to display pricing. But I can tell you, with pricing itself, you're going to rank so much higher in AI because there you're solving a problem and answering their questions. Okay. So cluster around buyer journeys. So, group keywords and questions into clusters, very helpful for AI. So awareness, what is the solution, consideration, best coatings for steel, structures, decision, comparing the competition. So again, they like deep content, not thin content. Next slide, please. We talked about schemas, and so important is from a technical standpoint, one of the most important things to do to your website to make it AI friendly. And it basically the organization one is real basic. So it describes your business core details. You know, it's typically located on your home page or about us page. We like it on both. What it includes, all the information that you should have about your company itself. Okay. Now, benefits of the organization schema. It dramatically increases credibility in AI and search engines. It's no longer, oh, it's just one of the many tools. It's a base key tool. It increases being cited in AI answers, especially because it ties it to your industry, and also to differentiate you from the competition and build your local SEO. Okay. Next slide, please. For B2B customers, here's the big one. That's the product schema, right? And allows people to get deep, when they're doing these long tail keyword searches, to get deep into your product data in an organized fashion. So, and this should be on your product detail pages for sure and applied. Some people are effectively using them on category pages also, and it needs all the details properly identified for following schema's best practices itself. And it's basically all about attributes and having attributes well organized and machine readable. Um, uh, and so the rich results are, you see some of the rich results on Google, when you type in, epoxy paint, the top comes up with pictures of all the paint, epoxy paints available that are close to you, that are also, that have a price on it. So really powerful for that. And if you don't have a price, you're not going to get on that top list unless no one else has prices. So the one that has prices wins. Um, so yeah, here's your product attributes again, and Google loves it. Um, and yeah, next please, next slide. And the fact schema, and AI loves pages specifically just with facts, but Google and AI love facts within a page, such as a service page or a product page itself. Um, and so that's the newest thing that everyone's hooking up to is lots of facts, and the tools are out there. The good tools will tell you, when you're looking for a keyword, and such as epoxy paint, it will tell you questions that people ask to find epoxy paint or its solution epoxy paint. And so very powerful, very effective. If you have a FAQs on the product pages or on the service pages itself. And in B2B environment, what you're finding is you have a product page and a application page. Now, our market serve page is the newest trend, and not the newest, but the best trend that I'm seeing in regards to clients taking advantage of AI and also Google positioning itself. And if you're separating it, and I know a lot of times where we run into sites for with B2B clients and they have the two merged. They're trying to do the two of them together, and they do it to save time and energy because it's so difficult. But we're seeing, and we're obviously on an ongoing basis recommending how to do that. It's not easy, but it's a great thing to do. Um, okay, next slide, please. I can't emphasize enough how important accessibility compliance is. And again, if you're doing business in the United States, the good old New York and LA law firms are suing you, and so they're basically, this is a rumor that they're hiring uh, uh, people with accessibility issues, or challenges, I think is the correct word, and getting them to go through sites and portals. And so they're actually logging in as customers, buying stuff and things like that, and then going through your portals. And then if it's not compliant, they're suing you. And so they send a nasty letter, say they're suing you, and say you can buy them out for such and such, and they won't proceed. And clients are buying them out, and it's 20 to $150,000 depending on the size. That's U.S. The size of your company and what they think they can get from you. Um, so we'll so it's important to be accessible, but really important because Google has a high ranking on that, and so does AI. And so WCAG compliance, and um, so you need to have clean HTML markup, proper labeling on everything, and accessible PDFs and accessible forms. Um, so run audits. There's lots of tools out there to um, uh, see whether your site is accessible. And it's funny when you use two or three different tools like we do, they give you different answers with different priorities, just like AI does if you ask it the same question the next day. Run the audits, add alt text for all. People don't do this. They add the alt text for all product images. This is a great time for you to stack some good keywords in there. Or, if it's product here, for a forest company, we were including, species, dimensions, grades, etc and certifications in there itself. It works really well to boost your SEO and obviously makes it compliant. Keyboard, you got to be able to navigate through your keyboard and transcripts, product demo videos itself. Those are absolutely necessary to be WCAG compliance. And then the last slide, please. And I think we all know this and heard of this, at least people in the industry. Google's been talking about this forever, but and that's content and authoritative and trustworthy, and again, not salesy, but provides good meat and good detail. And so it's always prioritized based on the EEAT, expertise, experience, authority, and trust. Um, Okay, and types of high value content. Now we've seen, technical guides, installation manuals, product comparison sheets, um, informative case studies, yes, but most case studies are sales, and so they don't get a lot of ranking. They figure it out quickly and success stories. So in industry certifications and sustainability insights, et cetera, and sustainability certifications help really well. Um, and so one of the first things is AI structuring content for AI readability and AI ranking is different. And I haven't addressed that here, but the way you layer content and what the content you provide is quite different in AI itself. But that's another topic. But if you can get your people within the organization to author this material, not just sales and marketing. Okay. Regular updates is important, and share your content, put it into the associations, LinkedIn, etc. Great, perfect timing. Last slide, please. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope that was informative and helpful and allows your journey into AI to be more informed and also more fun. And good luck. And if you have any questions about this or want this presentation, please don't hesitate to email us at team@Graphically Speaking. That comes into my inbox, or Daryl at Graphically Speaking. And my first name spelled Darrell. And good luck in your journey. Thank you.
We have some future webinars as well to preview.
Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, keep going. So as part of our upcoming our webinar program itself. So our next one up on the 17th is how to ensure your B2B website e-commerce portal will pass an accessibility test. So we're going to go deep into that. The next is um, the one of the trends, and we're doing this with a number of clients, is they're doing incremental updates, which Amazon's always done. They've never done a complete redo. And so we're going to discuss the pros and cons and how to most effectively do that, to be cost effective versus a complete wholesale redo. And so we'll want to discuss that new trend. And then we're going to do our good old shootout with comparing B2B e-commerce platforms. And we're so pleased to see that um, there's just so many more options, and they're more reliable, more credible, etc. I'm very pleased to see Shopify Plus putting, I think they put over $1 billion in R&D into and development into the B2B space. And so looking forward to them, and working with them closely. We're Shopify Plus certified. But very pleased to see their improvements in that area. So we're going to have a shootout and see how everyone is, and they're always a lot of fun. It might go over half an hour though. Okay, so that was the actual slide. I'm at 12:33. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck.